Welcome Ramley, how are my Rams super fans doing today? Today we're recapping the Rams draft. Let's get right into it. Going into the draft, I think the offensive line and the cornerback position was the Rams' biggest needs. They definitely did a good job at addressing these needs this year. Shockingly, no wide receivers were drafted this year. Thank God. So the Rams didn't have a pick in the first or the second round. First round going to Detroit for Matthew Stafford, and the second round are going to Denver for Von Miller. With the first pick in the third round, pick 104, the Rams drafted offensive lineman Logan Bruss from Wisconsin. And after doing some research on Bruss, I'm kind of surprised he fell to us in the third round. After redshirting his first year, Bruss saw action in all 13 games with 6 starts, starting the final 3 games of the season at right tackle. The following year in 2019, he started all 13 games he played and gave up just a single sack and 16 total pressures on a total of 851 snaps. In the COVID-19 shortened season in 2020, Bruss started all 6 games at right guard and on 425 snaps, surrendering 0 sacks and just 4 pressures on the year. He was awarded with an all Big Ten third team spot as a result. And as a senior in 2020, Bruss had his best season yet, and while starting 9 games at right tackle and playing on 647 snaps, he again didn't give up a sack and gave up just 9 total pressures. Bruss was awarded with a spot on the All Big Ten second team at the season's end. One wild stat that I seen, just crazy, is Bruss had 1 sack allowed since 2019 on 596 snaps. That's 1 sack allowed since 2019. Him going in the third round is beyond me. Logan Bruss joins Rob Havenstein and David Edwards as Rams offensive linemen from Wisconsin. It seems like this program knows how to pump them out. This was definitely a good pickup since the Rams lost Whitworth to retirement and Austin Corbett to free agency. Joe Noteboom will definitely replace Whitworth at left tackle, and I do expect Bruss to come off the bench this season and develop behind Coleman Shelton and Bobby Evans. Even though I don't expect it, if any Rams rookie has a chance to start this year, it would be Bruss. Now, before we get into what I thought was the most exciting news that took place over this weekend, I wanted to tell you about a giveaway I'm doing. Right now, we are over 3,000 subscribers on YouTube and 1,000 subscribers on Instagram. To show my appreciation, I'm giving away this beautiful autographed Jalen Ramsey 11x14 photo. It even comes with a JSA certificate of authenticity. JSA is one of, if not the most reliable authentication companies in America. And as you can see, by the wall behind me, I know a little something about signed memorabilia. If I give anything away, you never have to worry about the autograph being real or not. Now, I'm actually doing this to increase my following on Instagram, so I'll be giving it away on Instagram, so be sure to follow me over there after you finish watching this video. All you're gonna have to do is follow me, like the giveaway post, and tag some Rams fans in the comments, and I'll be randomly selecting a winner. All the details will be in the giveaway post on Instagram. I'm not expecting a ton of people to participate, so if you decide to, chances of you winning might be greater than you think. Now let's get right back into the draft. Now, the most exciting thing that happened this week was the Rams finally addressing the cornerback position, and not in the draft, but by trading a 2023 5th round pick to the Browns for Troy Hill. Now, the cornerback position was the Rams' biggest need, and there was no way Robert Rochell and David Long Jr. were going to head into this season as starters. I'm extremely happy to get Troy Hill back, mainly because we already know what we're getting from him. Hill finished 2020 on this Rams roster with a 74.2 Pro Football Focus grade. To put that into perspective, Darius Williams finished last season with a PFF grade of 65.3. Now, granted, in 2020 in Brandon Staley's defense, Darius Williams finished with an 80 PFF grade. So perhaps expecting Hill to play as good as he did in 2020 is setting expectations a little too high. But he should definitely, at the very least, play just as good as Darius Williams did for us last year, if not a little better. I do think there's still a small chance that the Rams add another person to this defense, maybe Tyrann Mathieu. Obviously, if that happens, the Rams secondary would easily be the best in the league. But if that doesn't happen, I think the Rams secondary, the way it's structured right now, will still be one of the best in the NFL. We still got the best corner in the NFL. We have Troy Hill now, Jordan Fuller will be healthy, Robert Rochelle will be in his second season, and David Long Jr. should be getting a lot better as well. This defense is shaping up to be better than last season, and that is a very scary sight. Also, to make the secondary even better, the Rams drafted quarterback Jacoby Durant from South Carolina State in the 4th round. In the 6th round, safety Quentin Lake from UCLA and cornerback Darian Kendrick from Georgia. And finally, in the 7th round, safety Russ Yeast from Kansas State. I think Jacoby Durant has the best chance to make this Rams roster. He is a speedy cornerback who ran a 4.3. He can play both zone and man coverage. He's good at recognizing and anticipating routes, and he has very good awareness skills. He can definitely get better in the tackling department and stopping the run, but I could definitely see him as someone who can help this Rams defense in the future. Another player that I think has a really good shot at making this team is running back Kyren Williams from Notre Dame. Drafted in the 5th round, Williams actually grew up in St. Louis and is a lifelong Rams fan. This is definitely a dream come true for him. Despite not being a big back, he is surprisingly powerful and can run through arm tacklers. He's very versatile when running in the inside or outside. He can turn on the jets in a flash. He definitely won't be caught from behind. Also, Kyren is a real talent in the receiving department. He was used more than just a check down safety valve and often as a featured player in the passing game. But if he wants to be a true 3-down back in this league, then blocking and reading the blitz is something he's going to have to improve upon. With this being Darrell Henderson's final year under contract, look for Kyren Williams to spend the season working towards replacing Henderson in the rotation next year. Another player I'm keeping a close eye on is the 7th round pick, edge rusher Daniel Hardy from Montana State. Hardy started all 15 games last season and he finished with 77 tackles, 16.5 sacks, and 24.5 tackles for a loss. Yes, guys, you heard that right. 16.5 sacks and 24.5 tackles for a loss. From what I'm hearing, Hardy is a pretty raw talent and he's gonna need some time to develop. But anyone putting up those kind of numbers in college is gonna make me keep my eye out on it. Let's see how he progresses through camp. And last but certainly not least, the Rams ended the draft by selecting A.J. Curry, offensive tackle from Michigan State. Overall, I think going into this draft, the Rams' biggest needs was the offensive line in the secondary, and the Rams addressed those needs with 6 of 8 of their picks. I'm not going to put a grade on this draft because you never actually know how good this draft is until a few years down the line. But I think without having a 1st or a 2nd round, or even a 3rd round into the compensatory pick, the Rams did a hell of a job. And speaking about compensatory picks, now that the draft is over, starting Monday, May 2nd at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, the Rams can sign free agents and it won't affect their compensatory picks for next season. I don't think the Rams are finished just yet. Look for the Rams to potentially add Tyrann Mathieu now. I would be over the moon if that happened. But I do think the Rams could use a pass rusher even more. Maybe Jadeveon Clowney or Melvin Ingram. I think this Rams defense last season took a complete 180 and went to a whole nother level when Von Miller finally started to get it going towards the end of the year. And why? Because there was finally somebody else other than Aaron Donald getting pressure on the quarterback. And I think that made all the difference, especially in the playoff run. We seen it in the Buccaneers game. That rushing defense single-handedly won us that game. We seen that pass rush destroy Jimmy G in the NFC Championship, and we seen that pass rush win us a Super Bowl in the second half of that game as well against the Bengals. I think going into the season where the only person that's going to get pressure is Aaron Donald, it might be a mistake. Maybe not a mistake because there's still a lot of talent on that defensive line, but I think Leonard Floyd just has proven time and time again throughout his career that he cannot consistently get pressure on the quarterback. The guy, for God's sakes, played on the same offensive line as Aaron Donald and Von Miller last year, and he didn't even crack double-digit sacks if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it's the biggest need to get another edge rusher, but when you have talented edge rushers like Jadeveon Clowney and Melvin Ingram out there that are probably not going to command a lot of money, they're still sitting out there for a reason, why not scoop them up and give Aaron Donald a little more help? We already have our linebacking core solidified. I truly believe we have one of the best linebacking cores in the NFL, and our secondary looks phenomenal. Add another pass rusher and this defense will enter legendary status. If the Rams are signing any more free agents, then they were gonna wait until after the draft so they can still get a decent amount of compensatory picks for next year. So expect something in the near future. And subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you get alerted as soon as I upload a video on whatever happens next. And in the meantime, click right here for more Rams content, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram for this Jalen Ramsey autograph photo giveaway.